Happy Thursday, everybody. I pray all is well. My name is Michael Gibson, and I'm talking about why I go to church. I'm calling this to remove the clutter. This time of year, when the seasons are changing, many people will go and adjust the clothing that they are wearing. They will remove whatever is of the old season and put it away and bring out whatever it is for the new season because they want to be dressed appropriately. When people tend to rearrange or fix their closet, they may discover some things that was in the closet that they were unaware of. Many people, when they have things in the closet, it's not all the way orderly. Hey, how you doing, Miss Harris? It's not all the time orderly in the closet. Sometimes we have more things than we need and things get outside the closet. When I was cleaning up this week, I discovered that I had a lot of clutter in certain areas of my house. And when we were cleaning up the clutter, and the reason why I'm calling it clutter, because there were some things that was in the closet that was on the hanger. I knew what those things were. But then there were other items that I had pushed to the side that I never looked at. I didn't know what was inside of those items. And that's what I was considering to be cluttered. And I knew that I had to go inside my closet and find space for those things. In order for me to find space for those things, I actually had to work through those items and see, one, what was in my closet to begin with that may need to come out to make room for the things that I am determining as clutter or classifying as clutter. And when we were cleaning up, I actually discovered some of the things that was in my clutter pile that were brand new, that was never used. I was unaware that it was there because I had so much stuff that I didn't recognize or I didn't remember that I actually had purchased some of these items. And while I was going through that process, it dropped in my spirit that many of us have too much clutter in our life. We have so much going on the inside of us, in the closet of our heart, that there is no room for God to actually minister or speak to our heart. There is no room for us to even understand that we have a value. There is so much going on inside the closet of our heart that we don't even realize all of the many giftings that God has put inside of us. You can't see things when everything is cluttered. I know for me, when I go to cook in my kitchen, it is hard to cook when the counter is full of clutter. The clutter stuff could have a purpose. I mean, many times the clutter is dishes that I didn't clean. Many times the clutter is items that I necessarily didn't discard from the last meal. However, to prepare for the new meal, I must begin to clean and remove the things that are cluttering the counter space so that I can be in the right frame of mind to even want to cook. Many times I don't want to cook if the kitchen is a hot mess. I'm just not in the mood for it. And as I was going through changing and cleaning up, right, Tony, so many distractions. And as I was cleaning up, I realized that I had stuff that I had set aside for many years and didn't even realize that I had it. I didn't realize that there was some valuable in some of the clutter because I just kept putting it aside. I just kept putting it off. I just kept sitting it away. And what God dropped in my spirit was, go in your closet, clean out that junk that's in your life right now. Evaluate, should it be in there? Because you say that you want to serve me. You say that you want to be used by me. You say that you love me, but you have so much other things in the closet, in your heart, that there is no room to put me in. And actually, some of the stuff that you're leaving out, some of that prayer time that you left out, because that's clutter. Some of that praise time that you left out, because that's clutter. Some of that study time that you leave out, because you consider that clutter. Some of that serving people, it's clutter, because you're so busy going back and forth to work. You're so busy shuffling the kids to their programs. You're so busy doing everything that your life is so cluttered that you are basically distracted. You can't focus. You're not getting things done that you need to get done because of the clutter. You have so much stuff that you don't even know where to begin. God dropped in my spirit, for me now, I'm speaking to me. Start to look at what's in your closet. Because the things that you value, that you say you value, should not be off in some random pile that you didn't even know was there. God has gifted many of us, but we've so busy collecting all of these things that mean nothing that we didn't even realize that we had a gift. I'm telling you, I discovered something that was sitting in my closet with a tag on, and I didn't even know that I even had the thing, because I had so much stuff, and I just kept taking stuff, throwing it over there, throwing it over there, throwing it over there, throwing it over there, and I wasn't addressing it. But it was so messy that I didn't want to address it. God wants us not to let areas in our life become so cluttered and so dysfunctional that we just don't do anything. You get to feel overwhelmed, or you can get the feeling of being overwhelmed when you go into a kitchen and it's dirty. It's just me. Not speaking for you, speaking for me. Sometimes when I come home, usually this happens to me when I transition from a vacation to the work week. Because you come home on Saturday, Sunday night, you put everything down, and then what you do, you go to bed because you get home late, or I go to bed because we get home late, and then Monday, we get the kids out, I rush to work, but I didn't put anything away, I just left it wherever it was, the luggage and everything. And then when I get up in the morning, I come downstairs and be like, this is just too much stuff, I'm not feeling like cleaning because I'm tired from my vacation, and guess what? Let's go out to eat tonight. Meanwhile, I've been going out to eat this whole time that I was on vacation. And what ends up happening, it just keeps piling and piling and piling and piling and piling and piling and piling. And guess what happens? You don't do anything. And then this little pile that was little becomes a mountain. Let me see what you say. Piles leads you backwards from your walk. Address it and toss it out. Don't put it back in the pile. Exactly. Don't put it back in the pile. And there's a lot of things that we have that we've put in piles that we leave unaddressed. And God is saying, I can't minister to you. I can't speak to you because the good advice that I gave you, you throw it away in the pile with the rest of the advice. The thing that I gave you actually has value if you actually didn't throw it in the pile with all the bad advice. If you didn't put it in this corner with all this other junk, you would have realized this is like one of the most valuable things that I have given you. The stuff that God is giving you, the things that God has told you, the things that you thought was minuscule, that you just threw in the corner with the rest of the advice from everybody else, go get the advice that God is giving you. Go pick it back up. Go pick up the plan that you thought wasn't working, because sometimes it's just not the right time for the execution. Sometimes you're in position, but the other people are out of position because their life is filled with so much clutter that they didn't realize they were supposed to be at a specific spot at a specific time to help you. I know this message may be all over to some people, but when I was cleaning out my closet, I realized that the things that I value, and when I say value, meaning like the shirt that I have on right now and the tie that I'm wearing right now, I didn't have this on the floor in my closet. This shirt was hanging up. This tie was on my tie rack. The belt that I'm wearing was on the belt rack because I value my shirt and my ties. But I had other things on the floor that I was walking over. Yes, walking over, because I had shirts and things on the floor that I kept walking over, that I was trampling. But guess what? That stuff was prohibiting me from getting to the stuff that I say I value, that I had hanging up. We got to start looking at the things that are interfering with our walk. start looking at the things that are actually keeping you from getting to the house of the Lord. You got to start looking at the things that are interfering with you from achieving your dreams, your goals, and your aspiration. This just goes not just to church, but just goes in life. Many of us want this shirt in the closet, but we can't get to it because we got like mounds and mounds and mounds and mounds of stuff in front of the closet that we can't get to the item that we say we value. But what I discovered, and the reason why I said the clutter, because there was something that I actually value that was on the floor, but I set it on the floor because I was too lazy to clean it up in the first place. I was unaware that some of the stuff that was in the clutter actually had value. But the reason why I never cleaned it up, the reason why I never addressed it, because I was like, God, I got so much stuff, I just don't feel like being bothered. God wants us to look at every area of our life, and he doesn't want us to have a cluttered mind. He doesn't want us to have a cluttered mind. He doesn't want us to discard the stuff that he's given us and the instructions that he has basically said, I want you to do X, Y, and Z, but you don't do X, Y, and Z because you don't have the space or the capacity to get into the closet. Things that we put on our hangers, things that we value, we put up. I mean, you put your money in your wallet because you value your money. You just don't leave your money anywhere. You put it in the closet. Listen, you put your phone somewhere so you can access it because you value the phone. You just don't leave your phone anywhere. You wouldn't just throw your phone in a pile because you want to go and use your phone whenever you want to use it. Things that we value, one, get out the clutter. Because like I said, I found something in the bottom of that pile that I didn't even know I had. But because I was so lazy, yes, lazy, L-A-Z-Y, lazy, I didn't take time to clean up in the first place. People find time to do whatever they value to do. People find the time to do whatever they value to do. As any person that has a child on a sports league, yes, as any person that actually has a child, you didn't realize that you could do so much in a day until you had children and you realized that, wow, what was I doing with all of my time? I had all this free time. I wasn't doing anything with it. The clutters in our life, the piles in our life can easily distract us and get us off focus from doing the things that God has called us to do. I want you to evaluate the things that is cluttering up your life, the things that is hindering you from giving God your full, undivided attention. I come on here week after week and talk about why I go to church, but this word is a mirror. This word and his spirit allows me to evaluate my life and get it back on track and get it back on the right train, moving in the right direction. Some of us do move backwards because we're not setting a path. We got so much stuff in our path that the path is impassable. You can't move forward with all this junk in your life. Listen, if you don't need it, throw it away. If you don't need it, give it away. If it's too small, you can sell it. Now that's not a spiritual thing. That's just a real life thing. Some of us don't have any space to get anything else because we're so full of stuff that we don't need. And what God was showing me is your closet full of stuff that you don't need. And I've given you critical pieces of information that you discarded and you put to the side because your closet was full of stuff that you didn't need it. Some of the things that we do, some of the stuff that we have in our closets, we don't need. We purchase those items because other people influenced us to purchase those items. We purchase those items because sometimes you say, I'm going to be that size again. And you have a whole section in your closet full of clothes that you're never fitting in again. Some things you have in your closet is because someone gave it to you. And you're the type of person, you don't want to get rid of anything that someone gave to you. Meanwhile, you have all this stuff sitting on the floor that actually has value, that the Father has given to you, that you just haven't made time and space to evaluate. I really just want you to start decluttering your life. Now, when it comes to spiritual things, these are some things that may be in your closet that may be hindering your walk with God. Are you spending too much time on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Periscope, that you're not spending time with God? Now, I know people speak on positive things on Facebook, so I'm not anti-social media, but is that interfering with your walk with God? Are you spending too much time just watching Netflix and chill? Are you spending too much time at the mall? Are you spending too much time going out to eat? At some time, you have to set aside some designated moments to spend with God. Because if you don't set aside any designated time or any designated moments to spend with God, this world will have you full of clutter in your life, and you won't be able to see the things of God, because they are positioning so much to keep you distracted. And when someone is distracted, they can't focus. When you're distracted, you are not focusing. You're not focusing. I know the seasons are changing outside. It's starting to get cold in the north. I'm in the Northeast, in Philadelphia area, Delaware specifically. It's starting to get cold. Winter is coming. Do you know where your winter jacket is? Do you know where it is? Can you access it? Can you find it? Do you know where your hat is? Do you know where your gloves is? Do you know where the things that are essential to make you be able to be successful in this season of your life? Yes. Do you know where those things are? And what God has just put in my spirit, Michael, there's some things that you need to get access to be successful in this season of your life. There's a level of faith that God is going to require for us to pull down things so that we can walk in it. I heard somebody say this week, and it really blessed my soul. God told me to pray for it, but he didn't say I had to pay for it. God told me to pray for it, but he didn't say I had to pay for it. But if you're not going to pay for some things, that means you're going to have to write it down. You're going to have to write the vision and make it plain so that others may want to come on and become what we call an angel investor into your vision. You're going to actually have to take time out to write the plan that you want to have happen in your life. You're going to have to sit down and write it. But you can't write it when the area that you go to concentrate is full of so much clutter. Again, I was cleaning out my closet. I was cleaning up my house. And I realized I had so much clutter that I didn't feel motivated. I really didn't. I didn't feel motivated to do the things that I knew I should be doing because of the clutter. But however, once I got motivated and I started cleaning out my closet, I realized that I had valuable things in the clutter. I just want you to evaluate the clutter in your life. If it's some good stuff in there, put it in a position so you can access it. If it's some junk, just get rid of it. Get rid of the things that is hampering your connection. Get rid of the things. Get rid of the things that is hampering your elevation. Get rid of the things that are actually pulling you backwards instead of moving you forward. This is in all areas of your life, because only what you really do for Christ will last. Only what you do for Christ will last. And God has challenged all of us to leave a legacy for our family. God has challenged all of us to leave a legacy for our children. And when we're gone, when I'm gone, I want my children to have a legacy that they're not having a GoFundMe for dad. And this is not throwing shade on anybody. But when I'm going, I want them to say, hey, this is what my dad has accomplished. This is what my dad stood for. This is generating a life for me when my dad is gone. Well, I can't do that if my life is so hectic and my life is so crazy that I can't even concentrate because I have all of this junk around me. Like I said earlier, when I go in the kitchen, I don't really want to cook when it's so chaotic. I'm just speaking for me. I'm not talking about anybody else. I don't want to cook if I got to go wash like 20 dishes before I can actually cook in a dish, I'm going to say, let's just go out to eat. But what God is telling me, you got to take time to put things away and clean up the things that you need to clean up. Address the areas in your life that may be dirty. Bring them to me. He can fix it. He can clean it. He can handle it. If there are some things that you need to discard, if there are some hurt feelings, if there's some animosity, if there's some bitterness, if there's some loneliness, if there's some unforgiveness, give it to God, because those things are hampering you moving forward. And God wants us all to move forward. God wants us all to grow gracefully and grow in His grace. Never forget, clutter things in your life can really stop you from focusing. And that's the main point. It was so chaotic that I couldn't focus until I went in there and took the time and evaluated what I needed and what I didn't need. Like I said, I value my shirt and tie. That's why my shirt and tie is hung up. But the thing that was on the floor in my closet, I didn't really value it. But guess what? It actually had value. But because I was so distracted, I was so busy, I was so messy. Yes, me, messy. I didn't realize that something that was on the floor of my closet actually had value. I actually needed it. And God just dropped in my spirit. There's some information that I've given to you that you toss to the side. But you can't see the value in it because it's in a mound of all this other stuff that you have yet to address. Just go through what you got. The seasons are changing, so you might as well just examine your spiritual walk with God and remove those things that are hampering your connection, that is hampering your clarity. But this is Michael Gibson, and it's why I go to church, because I do want to declutter the things that are interfering with my walk with God. And it says, what shall separate you from the love of God? And that's what we have to look at. Some of the things that are distracting us, we have put up before God. And I'm not saying that you can't live. I'm not saying that you don't have, responsibilities and priorities, because we all do. We all have earthly obligations because we are on the earth. However, the things that you do in your spare time, if you don't set time aside to commune with the Father, if you don't set time aside to assemble yourself, if you don't set time aside to pray and do all the things, your relationship will definitely be hampered without making time. Because people make time for the things that they value. People make time for the things that they value. And because I value my relationship with God, I make time for Him. So whatever I need to clean up, God, when you show it and reveal it to me, help me to clean it up. Help me to clean it up. Because some things that we've all have held on, we don't want to get rid of because we had it for so long. But if you're not using it, why keep holding on to it? Why keep holding on to memories of things of yesteryear that is holding you down? Don't hold on to the memory of the past so that you never move forward. Somebody out there is holding on to something that they need to let go of. I don't know why God just put that in my spirit, but somebody is holding on to something that they need to let go of. If you're not using it, if it's not advancing you, get rid of it. It's like Superman with that kryptonite. When kryptonite got Superman's presence, he had no power. Superman could fly all over the earth and around the galaxy. When that little green thing, blessings, Apostle Pender, when that kryptonite came out, Superman could not be effective because of the kryptonite. Somebody needs to know that you got some kryptonite in your closet and you need to clean it out. You need to get rid of that thing that is hampering your relationship. You really need to get that kryptonite out your closet. That old sin, that besetting sin, that whatever that note is, I don't know who that is, but whoever that is, you need to get it out your closet. You can't be effective for God with that junk in your closet. You got some old letter, some old note balled up somewhere, some old picture, some old memory that God is saying you need to get rid of it. Whoever needs to hear this, you need to get rid of that thing out of your closet, because that thing in your closet is hampering your connection. That thing in your closet is hampering your ability to fly. That thing in your closet is hampering your ability to see through walls. That thing in your closet is actually hindering your ability to pray. It's the little kryptonite that you didn't think it was kryptonite. You didn't think that God knows that you have it, but you got it in your closet and you haven't released it. Get that thing out your closet. Don't let that past hurt. Don't let that unforgiveness. Don't let that shame hamper you. Get it out your closet. Whoever it is, get it out your closet. It is hampering your relationship. God doesn't want anything between you and him. He doesn't want anything between you and him. Clean out the closet. The moral of the story, make time to clean out the closet. And Apostle Bobian, I got a nice kitchen. You want to show me how to cook? I will get you some ingredients that you can get down. I got a gas range just for you with your name on it. So when you come through, you come in the area, make sure you call me. But yes, somebody needs to know, clean up the kryptonite. I just keep hearing that in my spirit. The kryptonite that's in your closet. It's kryptonite. Kryptonite, it limited Superman's ability to fly. It limited Superman's ability to be who he was. And what I just keep feeling in my spirit, somebody got something in their closet that is limiting their ability to serve God properly. It is limiting your ability, and you know what it is. He won't, you know what that thing is that you've thrown away, that you don't want to address. You've put it aside and you don't want to address that issue. I don't know who that is. Whoever it is, please address it so God can let me move on. You got something in your closet that hurt you, and you didn't want to address that thing. So you buried that thing in your closet, and you have thrown so much stuff on top of it that you might not even want to clean the stuff off to get to the thing. But somebody on this live got kryptonite in their closet. And I'm telling you right now, it is hampering your ability to hear from God. It is hampering your ability to do the things that God wants you to do. Take it out your closet and get rid of it. God said it's in his strength that you're made strong. So you don't have to do it in your own strength. You're going to remove it in God's strength. The issue why you haven't addressed it is because you've been looking at it in your own strength. I'm telling you right now, it is in God's strength that you can go pick up that thing and get it out. Get it out of your closet. Get it out of your atmosphere, because you can't pray. You can't pray. You can't read because it is sitting there. Because Superman didn't have to even see kryptonite for kryptonite to affect him. Superman was unaffected anytime he got into the presence of kryptonite. So if someone had kryptonite in their bag, it hampered his ability to do what he needed to do. I'm telling you, you know that kryptonite is in your closet. I'm telling you that you know that you put it away and you keep saying that I'm not going to think about it. I want you to go in your closet and take that thing that is hampering your ability to do the thing that God has called you to do. You thought that you could just sit it aside and that God didn't know it was there. I'm telling you that God knows it is there. And I don't normally flow this way. So somebody needs to hear this. God knows it's there. And what God is saying is in his strength that you can make it. It is in his strength that you can remove it. It is in his strength that he will give you the ability to deal with that issue. Covering up is not going to resolve the issue, because the issue is still there and the issue is still severing your connection. To give you an example, if you have a phone and you want to connect to a router that's Wi-Fi, if I put a big piece of iron on top of that Wi-Fi antenna, it blocks the signal of the Wi-Fi. There is no connection with the Wi-Fi. Even though I want to connect to the Wi-Fi. It's not going to work because I put things that hamper the signal. God is saying somebody has put something in their closet away, and you thought that because it's in the closet, I would be good. God's saying today, take it out your closet. Take the clutter out your closet. I don't know who this is for, but take the closet. Take it out the closet. Get rid of it out the closet. Uproot it out your closet because it is hampering your ability. You can't focus with this thing that you know is in the back of that closet. You've thrown so much stuff on top of it, but you can't focus because you know it's there. The world doesn't know it's there because you've been hiding it for so long, but God said it's time to stop hiding that thing and get rid of it. When you get rid of that thing, I promise you, your life will never be the same. I don't know who this is for, but if you hear this now or later, go in and get that thing that you know you hidden that has been hampering your connection. And when you do that, your life will never be the same. And just know it is not in your strength. It is in God's strength that you are made strong. Because the word said in your weakness, He is made strong. It's Michael Gibson, and it's Why I Go to Church. To declutter. If this message blessed you, I ask that you share it out. Have a blessed day.